A female news reporter was interviewing a group of school kids. During the interaction, one of the boys intentionally dropped his pen. Using it as an excuse to crouch down, his gaze drifted toward the reporter's attractive legs. She instantly caught on to what the boy was up to. Truth be told, she didn't mind the attention. It was exactly the kind of reaction she wanted. Over the next few days, Jack found himself completely obsessed with Susan. Whether it was a hotel room or a public park, the two left their passionate imprint everywhere they went. The first time they got truly intimate, Susan broke down in tears and pulled Jack closer emotionally. She told him a lie that her husband treated her poorly. She claimed he was abusive, both mentally and physically. And every time they spoke, she'd subtly hint to Jack that the only way she could ever be free was if her husband was out of the picture. Jack, overwhelmed by desire and emotion, eventually agreed to do what she wanted. Inside, Susan felt thrilled. Her plan was unfolding exactly as she had hoped. A few days later, Jack showed up at her house with a friend. And without a word, the moment her husband appeared, Jack pulled the trigger. That night, Susan was working late at the TV station. By design, she wanted to make sure she had an airtight alibi. She had already predicted that her house would be full of guests that evening. And just like she planned, when she returned home, her house was crawling with police officers. She put on a convincing act, pretending to be shocked and confused by what had happened. But Susan had underestimated the sharp instincts of the police. Investigators soon came across an old interview clip where Jack was seen staring at Susan in a way that raised suspicions. That footage led them to start interrogating him. Susan, however, had no concern for Jack. He was merely a tool in her game. Her only ambition was to become famous. To gain sympathy, she even used her late husband's family grief to elevate her public image. Facing the media, she lied effortlessly, painting herself as a simple, loving wife who adored her husband. She played the role of the heartbroken widow to perfection. Meanwhile, her father-in-law began sensing that something didn't quite add up. But the problem was, Susan was being extremely careful with every step she took. The authorities couldn't find any solid evidence linking her to the murder. That's when her father-in-law decided to take matters into his own hands. Tapping into some old criminal connections, he reached out to people working at the TV station and lured Susan to an isolated spot. And there, in silence and without hesitation, he ended it all. As for Jack, he'll be spending the rest of his life behind bars, but he holds no regret. In his heart, he believes Susan truly loved him. But in the end, Susan's story and her game came to a permanent end.